Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Movie Review Wednesday.
We are excited to bring you another movie review. Remember, we are doing it today if we've caught you off guard because the holiday weekend. So
Fourth.
that's right. The fourth is coming, and uh,
Mhm.
and we gave you two movies on on Monday to watch, and now we're going to be talking about another movie. So if you have the extra time, maybe you want to watch this one too, but we'll
I
see.
have an announcement.
Yes, please tell us.
Tonight, I will be double featuring the movies we talked about. I'll be watching Jaws and Independence Day back to back tonight.
Really?
I'm going to commit. I'm going to do it.
Oh man.
Because I probably won't have time this weekend. I'm going to do it tonight. I'm off
Not even
tomorrow.
with the pops like you said you would.
Uh, I doubt it.
You doubt
Times are crazy when we go to his house. I seriously doubt we'll have time.
it.
The kids are so crazy when we go to his house that by the time it
Right.
comes time to watch a movie, we all just pass out. So
Understand.
tonight, I'll be double featuring Jaws and Independence Day in that order.
Cool. Nice. Are you gonna be able to stay awake for this? That's what I'm.
Yes. I'll
So,
quote the
what
great
was
Michael
that? You kind of
Scott.
froze in.
Oh, I was showing my coffee. I will.
Oh no.
Am I froze?
Oh, gotcha.
There. You go. I'll quote the great Michael Scott. This Michael
A little
Scott and
bit. It's in and
say,
out. Maybe you got to tell
uh,
your colleagues.
yeah. I don't know. Is that better?
Yeah, I think you just need to. Yeah, it's better. Maybe you just need to
There we
tell your buddies, send them a text, be like, "Hey, get off the interwebs. Important things are
go.
happening."
I know, right? But
Uh,
and we're back.
so,
Sorry about
so,
that.
yeah, all good, all good.
Yeah.
So we are here to discuss, as you have seen on our thing. We're here to discuss this movie right here, My Spy. And Gary was said he was able to watch it last night. Well,
Yes.
yeah, Gary, you just need to tell him your story. Go ahead, like you told me this morning.
This movie stars the animal Batista from his great times in WWE. He has now stepped into the world of acting. Yes, I watched this last night, and
Mm-hmm.
I I started watching about 9:30, and what I'm about to say has no reflection on my thoughts of this movie at all. But I
Mm-hmm.
fell asleep on the couch with about 40 minutes to go. I got up
uh-huh.
and I said, "You got to go to bed. I'm going to get up early and I'm going to finish this." And that's exactly what I did. I got up about 6 o'clock this morning because I am dedicated to this channel. I'm dedicated to
Mm-hmm.
movies. I don't want to go on a passionate speech because we don't have time for that right now. But I got up, I made my coffee, sat down, and I watched the end of this movie. So
Mm-hmm.
it was between last night and this morning. I watched My Spy, starring the animal Batista.
Yeah, and just so people know, like Gary and his fam came over to our house last night to eat, hang out,
Wonderful time.
let all the kids hang out, let them wipe each other out. Did Carter fall
Hmm.
asleep on the way home? That's what I want to know.
No, he did not. He did not.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah, he
So
he did pass out as soon as he hit the bed, though.
yeah. So long day, long work day, hung out with
Hmm.
us. They didn't get home till late.
Yeah,
So yeah, understandable that you fell asleep.
yeah.
So
We had a
no
wonderful
problems there.
time at the Rosario house. Thank you again for being such gracious host, and the chicken was great.
Oh, good, good. Nice to hear that. I made for anyone watching, I made Gary and the fam. We made them pinchos. We gave them very Puerto Rican dinner.
It's
So
very good.
pinchos, arroz con gandules, tostones, maduros, all this great stuff.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Gary said yes, more
Hmm.
please.
Yeah.
But
I had
so
some.
that, but anyways, all that to say, that's why he fell asleep.
Hmm.
But with this movie, My Spy, like I said, it stars David Bautista, and who honestly like is doing better in his acting skills.
He is.
And
He is.
so it was pleasant to watch. So how about we just go ahead and just get started
Get
with the
into it.
good of this movie?
Hmm.
So
Thank you,
Gary, how about
Katie.
you go ahead and start us, my man?
First off, I just got to, Katie, I appreciate that. Um,
Oh yes, there we go.
Um, yeah, so I've been a fan of Batista for a long time. If you've been watching the channel, I am a professional wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
historian, if you will. And I was sad when Batista stepped out of wrestling and went to the world of acting. I kind of rolled my eyes, but
Mm-hmm.
then we got Drax. He
Yeah.
played a few other things, but so this role here, I was very impressed with him in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to the good of this movie. I'll say the cast.
Yes.
The cast was
Yeah.
very good. Batista did a great job. Supporting cast around him. The girl who played his partner, I can never remember her name, but I find her hilarious in everything she does, and she
And
was
she was in this.
hilarious in this movie. And that brings me to my other part that is the good. The humor in this movie was spot on. It
Good.
was timed out perfectly. I did not know I needed Dave Bautista shooting people from his car while listening to Celine Dion in Russian. I
Yes.
did not know how much I needed that scene until last night. I
Yeah.
was literally laughing out loud at that. And the humor was very good in this movie. And this is a very self-aware movie. They
Yeah.
knew what type of movie they were making. They weren't trying to be too serious, weren't trying to be too over the top goofy. It's like, you know what, here's what we got. And you could tell everyone on the cast had fun, and everyone making this movie knew what type of movie they were making. So lots of good here.
Yeah, there is lots of good. I did appreciate Bautista in this, like, because I'll be honest, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, here we go, another big muscle guy, former wrestler, whatever, who's teaming up with a kid movie, kind of like Pacifier, Playing with Fire.
Mr. Nanny.
Like stuff like that. The Game Plan with The
Yeah.
Rock. And I'm just like, oh, all those movies, in my opinion, were just so bad. And so, like, I just didn't care for them at all. I'm like, great, another one of those. But of course, for this, because usually these movies like this, you think, okay, kid stuff, family movie, whatever. So, yeah, just give it a try because you know what? Bautista liked him as Drax. He did great. And the only other thing I remember seeing him in was in one of the newer James Bond movies. He was like one of the bad guys, and he got beat up by Daniel Craig, which I'm like, that's not believable at all. But, so I was like, hey, let's give it a watch. And it's something new because as you see on there, it's on Amazon Prime, and it's actually free right now if you have Amazon Prime.
If you have Amazon Prime.
So it's like, hey, let's
Thank
check
you
it
to
out.
my in-laws again.
Yeah, for helping you out there. But yeah, another COVID tragedy for theaters. But hey, it was, man, this movie, it was hilarious. Like so much of it, like you said, it was self-aware. There were certain scenes in this that like, also Kenny, not Kenny, what's his name? The Asian guy who is from Greensboro here. That is the chief of the CIA.
Man. We know
Jack Nabbit.
Chang from Community.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is it Ken Jeong? Isn't
Ken Jeong? Yep,
Ken Jeong.
Ken
Yeah,
Jeong.
there we go. That's what.
Not Ken
I don't know
Jong-un.
why. Yeah, I don't know why I call him Kenny, but anyways.
Yeah.
But he was, he was great in this, and I love how like anytime this movie like was coming to a point where they would have that cheesy moment that all these movies kind of have. There we go. Kim Jong. Yeah, like he would have this. They would have this silly moment. Like they would just make fun of it instead.
Yeah.
So that made me laugh a lot. Like you said, that opening scene where he was just where he was like, "Okay, you got me. I'm just gonna kill you all now." Like, and then he's singing to Celine Dion. He's like, "Oh, come on!" And then he just ends up with, was it "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" or something? Is what he ends up singing to.
Yeah, he got mad at all the other songs. He's like, really? And then that came on. He starts singing it.
Yeah. And then he didn't know how to handle the little girl, and his response was always an elaborate scheme to like kill her or make her disappear. And it's like, what? It's like, no, we can't do that.
It was legit funny. It really was.
Yeah, like I told my wife, this movie was way better than it had any business being.
Oh yeah, indeed.
It was. I was like, man, this thing is like. I legitimately laughed out loud, and maybe because I had low expectations. No, but I think this stuff was actually funny. But it was like, and like you said, the cast in it was great. I mean, even the little girl. I don't know. If we were professionals, we'd actually have like the list of cast names other than Bautista. But I mean, heck, the poster, it just has Bautista, so that's all that matters.
There you go. Yeah.
But the little girl was actually really good. She wasn't like a cheesy kid who
she wasn't
you can tell
annoying.
the acting. Yeah, she wasn't annoying.
Most kid actors annoy me, but she hung right there with Bautista, and his partner, them going back and forth. I loved how the partner would get jealous of her.
Yeah,
that was funny.
And just how like so easily she's also a genius in her own right, and she knew what she was doing. And she's adorable, and so it was just really good to actually see a good child actor, because that girl's got some natural talent, and so I think she might, hopefully, maybe she'll have a career after this because she did a really good job.
Yeah, she did a really good job, and this is it's gonna be a great launching point for her, I think, and I hope a lot of people go and watch this movie because it's worth a watch, definitely.
Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch if you just want to have fun, and because that's what it is. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
Don't go into this thinking you're watching a Bourne movie.
Yeah.
or James Bond or anything like that. It's just a
Bourne,
fun,
Jason Bourne, in case
yeah,
that sounded
Bourne.
weird to anybody
Yeah,
else.
sorry about that. Bourne
Yeah.
with a B, Matt Damon.
Yes.
Moving on. I do not enunciate well, folks at home. I
That's all right.
apologize.
That's all right.
Yeah, but
So,
yes.
but yeah, so
So
that'd be good. So maybe we should move on to the bad, what we
yes.
think is some bad on here.
Mhm,
Uh, I guess I'll start this one off.
mhm.
For me, some of the bad in this is it is, I mean, which again, it's this kind of movie. So I don't know if you want to knock it too much, but like the story itself was a little lacking, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, just in the case of like it just it was just more like MacGuffin after MacGuffin to get the story moving,
Yeah.
as opposed to just get it going. Like even like the bad guy in this, it's like he has a scene in the beginning. Hey, this guy's bad, and then he
Yeah.
disappears. You don't see him halfway through. He's like, hey, I'm still bad, and now
Mhm.
I'm on a collision. Here's the next MacGuffin. Now I'm on a collision course with Bautista, and then he disappears for the rest of the movie, and then he shows up at the end. He's like, all right, third act, here we go. You
Yeah.
know, so it was like they didn't really care, which is fine.
Yeah.
Again, for this kind of movie, they didn't really care, but it was just like you could tell, like seriously, if they just focused all on Batista and the little girl,
Mhm.
like I think maybe that would have just been the movie and leave it at that, and it would have been,
Mhm.
I think, that much better. But where they still had to try to have the conflict and other
Mhm.
things going on, it was just kind of like okay. But again, movies like this suffer from that.
Yeah.
You know, Pacifier and others, like we've mentioned before,
Mhm.
suffers from that. Like they still want to show them big and muscly, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if part of this is how tired I was last night.
hmm
Excuse me. But I didn't really understand the motivation from the bad guys. You know,
yeah,
I know it was a very much a you know, they were just bad guys for the sake of bad guys, which is fine. But I think yeah, maybe a little bit more of just him and the girl and that whole dynamic, and a little less, and or
hmm
what I'm saying, one way or the other. I think it was trying to do both, and I think that kind of made it convoluted a little bit.
right,
And there was the MacGuffins, as you say.
yeah,
My bad was my bad was that plus the language in this movie felt
yeah,
very unnecessary a lot of
hmm
times and forced.
yes,
So that's probably my biggest bad of this. It's like there were times, and yeah, there are times where it's in there, and it's like okay, but the language in this movie majority of the times was very much a haha, it's cool to cuss. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You watch some I remember being on the bus in 6th grade, and
hmm
like that's when kids start cussing at school, or 5th or 6th grade, and it was very much I felt like I was back on the school bus. It was like, hey, it's cool to say the A word and the B word.
yeah,
I'm grown up now. That's kind of what I got from that a lot of
hmm
times in this movie.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, and even too, it was just like even from the little girl, like the little
Hmm.
girl had to
Hmm.
cuss a few times, and it was like why,
Yeah.
like why did that have to happen?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like the language in this was why do we have this much language in it? Like I don't
Hmm.
understand. Um, I mean, and that which is like part of that like PG-13 rating, which I'll get into
Hmm.
later when we talk
Yeah.
about the dad aspect of things. But it was just like some of
I
the stuff was
have
just like it's like, are you trying to be a family movie or are you
mhm.
trying to be an action
I have a
like PG-13
theory.
movie?
I
Yeah.
have a theory. And this is just my theory. I was thinking about this when I was driving into the office this morning. I think this movie was originally supposed to be rated R,
No, yeah.
and they wanted it to be that over the top, crude story of
hmm
little kid cussing. Because there's a lot of movies like that, like right now.
Yeah.
And I think they changed their mind last minute, but they left some of that in there. I think that's just a theory I have.
Yeah. Could
Um,
be.
yeah, because it kind of is written that way. Like it was supposed to be
Yeah.
that over the top, intense, like R-rated movie. You know.
hmm
But yeah, just a
Yeah.
theory. Just a theory.
Yeah. I
Batista,
mean, hey,
don't beat me up if I'm wrong. But
yeah. I mean, hey, studios do that. They try to do stuff cut back to get PG-13 to try to get a broader audience in
mhm,
and try to make more money. So I mean,
mhm,
very well could be. But at least, but it seems like that happened maybe even before marketing because when they
mhm,
market this thing as a PG-13 like fun
mhm.
family film, but as you can say, like this isn't like full family film,
No, no,
like
no.
like none at all.
Mhm,
So, but yeah, so just some of that, and then of course some of the cheesiness in it too. Like you said, there was some stuff that was forced,
mhm.
like the cussing and even the violence and stuff. Sometimes was like, it was. I mean, I think part of it might have been just to show Batista being
Yeah,
Draxus, like
yeah.
out there using his muscles and stuff. But
Mhm,
um, so those are some of the bad on that. Moving on to the pastor, what are your thoughts there, sir?
The pastor of it all, heart for others. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this movie showed, or it did that really well. It's like no matter what you're doing, no matter what your job is, above all, have a heart for others and keep that childlike mentality that Christ talks about. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
there's times in this movie where I can't remember his character's name in the movie, but I'll just call him
JJ.
Batista. JJ,
Yeah,
there we go.
JJ
Yeah,
is his name. Yeah.
yeah. Where JJ he had to tap into that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was the overall theme. You know, grow up, but don't lose that childlike humbleness about you. And
Yeah.
you know, he had to have a heart for the girl, his partner, and her mother.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. And then I even like the whole aspect of, well, a couple of things, I guess, but the first one was with him, having his loss of his fiance, like,
Mm-hmm.
because she couldn't live with his lifestyle anymore, and then
Mm-hmm.
so he just completely closed himself off from everybody, became a loner,
Yeah.
and just the idea of that of like we're not meant to be alone, like we're meant to be in community with people and others, kind of that aspect of like even as Christians, like don't like you're not a part of like you can't just ignore the church, like we're meant to be in community with people.
Yes.
So seeing that, like we're just saying, like heart for people and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, so seeing that, but then I also really did like just them showing the idea of the importance of a father or father
Mm-hmm.
figure in the
Mm-hmm.
life of children. I mean, that's the little girl's motivation. Like, I mean, I'm not spoiling anything, but it's just like that's the motivation of the little girl and why she gets so involved
Mm-hmm.
with JJ and all that kind of stuff, because she desperately wants that father figure, and then he has to learn to be that, like you said, like the heart for others as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like the like you can be a father figure to anybody,
Yeah.
and no matter the situation, like everyone needs that role in their life. But in even also just like even the heavenly father, like we're all like from that little girl, it's like she desperately wanted that father in her life because her father, stuff happened, which you'll find
Mm-hmm.
out in the movie.
Yes.
Um, but like we all seek for that,
Mm-hmm.
and then for us as well, like our heavenly Father, like we seek for that as well.
Yep.
So it
Yep.
definitely had those kind of cool elements that one can pull from it. Um, so I thought those were cool. So moving on to the dad,
The
and
dad.
uh, and then with the dad aspect, um, you're kind of in the same idea of
Mm-hmm.
being a father. Like yes, if you have your biological kids, like the importance of your role in their life,
Mm-hmm.
but also there are maybe other kids who don't have a dad, and there's nothing wrong with being a father figure for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so same kind of thing. But but from a dad perspective too, like would my kids be watching this movie? Like they got a while before they can watch this movie.
Same.
Yeah, they got a while. Like it's a fun movie. Eventually they could watch it, but like you said, the language was just too much. I mean, they earned that PG-13 rating on
Oh yeah,
that.
it's very PG-13.
Yeah, the violence in it as well was very PG-13, which
It
was
was
shocking to me.
that scene where the guy's head was thrown off on the screen. He's like,
Yeah,
ah!
yeah,
That
it
was
was.
funny, but I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah, but and they tried to play it off kind of cartoonish,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but still, it was just like, okay, my kids don't need to see a guy's head flying off, a guy gets shot in the
Uh,
head.
yeah.
Like they kept it very like, like this is a
This,
PG-13 action movie that has
yeah,
comedy and a small child. Like that's
yes.
how they kept it.
This is very much a watch with the wife, but stick to
Hmm.
that rating for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
my kids won't be watching this for a long time either.
yeah,
Um, I think the dad of it all, plus that for me also is that I took from it, and I was thinking about that this morning when I was actually getting my kids up. It's like, and I have to remind myself of this not only with my kids but with the
hmm,
students we work with. Don't be afraid to be goofy,
yeah,
to dance, wrestle around, have fun.
hmm,
There's time to be the parent and be stern, but also have fun with your kids. you know,
yeah.
and I think that was a lesson that he learned in this movie as well.
Hmm. Again, like
Uh,
learning how to be human. It's not all
mhm,
about your job
mhm,
or whatever you are. Like you can still be human and learn
mhm,
to love and have fun. And yeah,
mhm.
that's like that scene. It's in the trailer, but that scene when she's like, "Look around, what do you see?" And he's like, "Soft perimeter,
Yeah, yeah,
unarmed citizens."
yeah,
She's like, "People having fun."
yeah, yeah. That
Just
was a
like
great takeaway from this movie.
yeah.
You know, so
So yeah, that one. So that was good. And then of course, as dads and even pastors, for those who may be watching for that, like again, it could be a fun movie, fun family movie if you have older teenage kids.
mhm,
Younger kids, not a family movie at all.
mhm.
Um, but but could be something like you said, date night with the wife.
Yeah.
Something like that would be good as well.
Mhm.
But again, way funnier than it had any business being.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And and all things
Indeed.
considered, when these types of movies come out, probably one of the cleanest you'll see in this
Yeah.
vein nowadays.
Yeah. And
So
I just want to say, anybody that sees this poster and they think, they just kind of, because I would, in my past, but just kind of shrug it off as, just another pacifier, or, don't give it a chance. Check it out, because it's worth a watch for sure. And it's fun.
yeah, and it's fun. So shall we get on to our Hail Marys? How many Hail Marys
Yes.
we're given?
Let's Hail Mary it up.
All
That's
right.
kind of weird.
All right. I guess I think last time I did the reviews by myself. So, and you did the Western Wednesday. So I guess it
Western
doesn't
Wednesday.
matter. Yeah, I think I went first on the dad. So how about you go first
Okay.
and tell us your rating, and then I'll.
All right. I've wrestled with this, Efren. I have. I
Pun intended?
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, intended. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I really, really, really want to give this a 4, Hail Mary, but I got to go 3.
Yeah. 3 for
Liked
Gary.
it a lot. There's a ton to laugh about in this movie, but what we talked about, the content was so unnecessary in a lot of cases, and that just that brings it down to a 3 for me. 3 Hail Marys.
Yeah. Yeah. Understandable. That is very understandable. For me, as I thought about this movie too, again, I had a lot of fun. I thought of like I said earlier, way better than it had any business being. And I think that's got to be like the slogan for me on this movie, because it was like this movie had no business being fun or hilarious. But like the story stuff we talked about, a lot of the content in it, it was just like it just didn't. I feel like they still could have been very family friendly without like the nonsense in it, like just all the extra stuff.
It didn't add to it.
It's like, no, it didn't add to it. It felt forced. So honestly, I'm with you. Like, I think this is also a 3 Hail Mary. I couldn't go 4. It's definitely not a 2. So that's why it's like it gets a 3. It gets the good, fun movie that you can just watch and have a good time with. Again, stick to that PG-13 rating. No need for smaller children to see this. But yeah, so I give it 3 Hail Marys as well.
Yep. And if anyone's a Batista fan, go check out WrestleMania 21, where he beats Triple H to win the World Heavyweight Championship. WrestleMania 21, 2005, from LA, Staples Center. Sorry.
The fact that you know all this.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I will say this, though. Of all these wrestlers turned actors, I think Bautista has
doing
the
well.
most promise to be a real actor, like afterwards.
Doing better than John Cena is right now. Just saying.
Yeah, John Cena's not very good. The Rock's okay,
But he's
but
The
he's
Rock.
kind of playing. Yeah, he's just playing The Rock and everything. So it's kind of like, okay. But seeing Bautista going like from Drax to this, I was like, okay, this guy might actually have a future.
And I think you said it best yesterday when you and I were talking about this before I watched it. You said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said something to the fact of he wasn't Drax in this movie. He was different.
Yes.
Still funny without being Drax. And that says a lot about him.
Yes. Yes, and that's what I liked is like, all right, he's not Drax. He's actually trying to act his character, which I'm like, yes, if Batista's going to give us more of this, I'm all in. I'm all in if he's going to continue this. So there you go, ladies
3
and
Hail
gentlemen,
Marys.
both. Yep, 3 Hail Marys from me and Gary. And just so you know, we don't talk about how many Hail Marys we're giving this ahead of time.
No.
So we don't know. So we don't, like, it could be, this one just happened to be the same.
This is off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
so 3 Hail Marys for My Spy. Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there for free. You can check it out and watch it with the wife, significant other, if you're dating or whatever. And check it out with them. And if you have older teenage kids, that'd be pretty good. Just know that there's stuff in it. So like we said, language and violence and stuff like that. So just know that that's in there. But there you go. Gary, anything else, my man?
No, yeah, you said it all. You said it best. Check it out. Worth a watch. But keep in mind of the content.
Yep. All right. So thanks you guys so much for watching, for being here with us. On Monday, Gary and I, for our next episode, we're going to be talking about what kinds of movies we watch and why, and why we don't watch other movies. We just want to, get it out there so you guys can understand our thought process and our mentality behind why we want to do this channel and things like that. I know we briefly covered it on our first episode, but we figured let's dig into it a little bit deeper. So all you guys that are watching and subscribe to us, thank you for subscribing,
Yes.
by the way.
Thank you.
But just let you kind of know what to expect from us and
We
things like that.
will let you in on our movie watching protocol. That's Monday.
Yep, that's what we'll be doing, and we figured that you guys should just know that, so we know what's going on moving forward. So it will still be a fun episode, and we get to dive into some stuff. So it'll be great. So that'll be coming to you Monday, and then maybe another Western Wednesday coming soon.
You know what? I think so. Let's see.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, let's do another Western Wednesday.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are wondering, are there any movie news? Yes and no. Everything's just getting pushed back. There's your movie news.
There you go.
So we don't feel like we need to do
world.
Yeah, we don't feel like we need to do another episode just for that. Everything's getting pushed back. Done.
2020. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's the slogan.
So, all right. Thank you guys for being with us. We will catch you guys on Monday.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th. See you.